Today is the start of a new chapter of the Journeyman save game. We are here at Al-Okhd. I've installed the new badge that the team actually run in real life. I don't have to look at the wonky text for my time here. And today we are kicking off our Yellow League campaign. Of course, we're starting in the second division of Saudi Arabia. Last episode was a transfer special. I've done some transfers since last time. And as we head into the season, we are the favourites for promotion and indeed the title. The pressure is on us. I want 500 miles, but our opening game is against one of the favourites at the top. Let's run the intro and get straight into things. Yes, folks, how is it going? And a warm welcome back. It's episode number 39 of The Journey Manager. It's our second here in Saudi Arabia with Al-Okhd. And as I already mentioned, I have spent more money. We started the season with £30 million in transfer budget. There is only 17 million left. I've actually broken the club record for transfers. I made a few more off the back of last episode. And it might not come as much of a surprise to know I have ended up filling up our squad with a few more foreign players. The first of which, Trawali, is a Wally. Yeah, he's injured at the moment. He is unavailable for the first month or so of the season. Not exactly ideal for this guy, especially because I signed him to play left mid thinking, maybe I won't play asymmetric this year after all. Of course, last episode when I started planning out tactic stuff, I was thinking we might play with a striker off-centred on the left. The whole plan was that Trawali would be the left winger. In his absence, Al-Sabai, who was going to be my centre mid, is probably going to have to play out on the left. And of course, that left us with one further foreign player spot. We have used that on Ibrahim Mohammed, an Iraqi international, 22 caps at 18 years old. Some really, really good mentals. Love his high determination. Physical's not the craziest, but he is a player who can play anywhere down the middle. Don't suspect I'm going to play him at centre-back, but as a defensive mid or centre-mid option, I think he's going to be phenomenal. $500,000 for this guy? I'm going to be honest, it feels like a bargain. I did make a few Saudi youngster freebie signings for the reserve team just to kind of get a pipeline of Saudi talent going, but I did spend one big splurge of money, shall we say, on Walid Al-Harbi. This guy is 20 years old. He can play defensive mid. I'm training him to play at centre-back. I feel like he's a very, very good centre-back, and dare I say, he might be better than my other options there. Okay, suggesting he might be better than Bislimi might be a little bit of a stretch, but I think he will be our second choice centre-back this year. Yeah, I'm sorry to Deji. Deji, of course, was already coming to the club when I joined. He was a transfer that went through but was signed by the previous manager. And if we do just compare him against Al-Harbi here, I prefer the man in blue, and I think for 2.5 million, it wasn't cheap, really good Saudi signing. Of course, just as a little reminder, I'm allowed 6 foreign registered players in the squad of 25 players. The rest of the players, 19, have to be Saudi Arabians. So there is a premium on those top Saudi prospects. I do feel like Al-Harbi is one such option. Now, in terms of how we're lining up for the year, it may look reminiscent to those of you who are watching when we were managing in Iran before, because I'm sticking with an asymmetric 4-2-3-1. This is how I think we're going to line up for the year. Granted, there's a couple of injuries that mean that a bit of a shuffle around is necessary. As I mentioned, Trawali is my go-to left mid option. If I don't like the 4-2-3-1, he can also play at striker, which is quite nice. But as I already mentioned, Al-Sabai, who is more of a box-to-box midfielder, is going to have to play out on the wing, and that is going to see Hassawi here come into the team and play at centre mid. This is a man who once upon a time was signed for £2.1 million. He's actually a very, very good all-rounder centre mid. Maybe not the best box-to-box midfielder in the world, but he's the best I've got access to. You may have also noticed with the shift in shape, Mark is back at right back. I feel like Mark is just not very good, and I feel like I have to put him in the least offensive place possible where he can actually serve a purpose. And in my eyes, he's actually not a bad inverted wing back by any means. I did see some comments very thumbs up on the last episode talking about the fact that Mark wasn't really keeping up with the clubs that we're moving to. He's a bit of a liability. He's not very good. I don't know if I made this apparent enough at the beginning of the save game. That was entirely by design. The whole point in this save game is not for me to have some overpowered son who's a god amongst men at every team we go to. I want a player who, quite frankly, is useless when we make it to the Premier League, but I still have to give 5 games to in order to get a Premier League winners medal. Anyway, we are a long, long way away from that reality, but we could get a step closer if we win the league this year. And I think, given the fact we're now the pre-season favourites, that almost has to be an expectation. We're away from home against Al-Okhd. Of course, this is my first time managing in Saudi Arabia, so I could be in for a rude awakening, and it ends up being more competitive than I think it's going to be. But the media prediction that's been updated has me excited. Of course, in terms of the board's expectations, they just want a mid-table finish. I want to win the league. The other cup competition we're playing is the King's Cup. This is a competition that encompasses everyone in Saudi Arabia don't necessarily expect us to win it this year, but I'd like us to be a bit competitive in it. Just for a little bit of context, Al-Okhd, who are taken on in our first game, have this guy here, Alex Telescu, Portuguese centre mid, as their best option. He kind of reminds me of Renato Sanchez with his in-game polygon. Definitely not quite as good as Renato Sanchez. Not a bad player by any means. Feel like we should be beating them though. Already talked about the team a little bit. Mark is at right back. Hakami is our goalie this year. Great aerial reach, questionable shot stopping. Don't ask him to run. At the back, of course, we've got the Kosovoian Bislimi alongside Al-Harbi, the new late addition in the heart of the defence. Al-Khamis is another new addition in at left wing back. Hoping he's going to do the job for us. I will say, of all the positions in the team, I feel like left wing back might be a weak link, but it's better than other teams, so maybe it's fine. A defensive midfield, of course, Mohamed is going to be that go-to defensive, creative, rock at the back player, I hope, for us. And at 18, I'm hoping he's going to do it for the duration of my time at the club. I already talked about the left wing and centre mid positions, but Abassi, you might notice playing at attacking midfielder. At the end of last episode, I had him playing at centre mid. Another one of the reasons I've made the tactical change I've made is I was a bit of an idiot. I'll find the screen eventually. I made a promise to Abassi to play him as an attacking midfielder with the advanced playmaker role. So, yeah, that was another reason why we had to change the shape. Two players I'm really excited for in the final third. The first is Akdag, the Turkish right winger. I've nicknamed him just Akdag because the name on his back of his shirt scared me and I couldn't say it properly. And Akdag, it's just a good brand. He's a great player, very, very quick, a youngster with bags of potential. And of course, hopefully he is going to be feeding goals the way of Al-Khani, the man who I chucked stupid money at 1 o'clock in the morning yesterday. I'm going to hope I don't live to regret it. I have since learned, since he joined us, he might be injury prone. Yeah, I do wish I had spotted that sooner. I always feel like when you move teams in a save game like this, it's really important just to give you guys a little bit of context, a bit of a rundown on the team, so you know a few familiar faces to look for. Obviously, in terms of Al-Okhd team, Telescu is the man to fear. Okay, first game in Saudi Arabia. We are playing in yellow, and Mark is ginger. Has Mark always been ginger? I'm not sure. Akdag at right wing making his debut. Plays it inside towards Mark, who does miss out. He's playing as that inverted wing back on defend. He's won it back nicely, though. Akdag, fed it by Al-Khani, cuts inside. Oh, my word. Akdag might be a god. He came through at Besiktas's academy. He wasn't happy at Besiktas, and of course he was an Al-Aroba. What's our team name? I've forgotten what team I'm managing. He's an Al-Aroba fan. He's always been an Al-Aroba fan. His transfer to Saudi Arabia has nothing to do with money. Al-Aroba. That's who I'm managing. Al-Aroba. Say it with me. Al-Aroba. Okay, we've got a set piece maybe. Akdag. He already has one. He's got another. He can't claim that one. It's just deflected in. I've really not used the winger role much this year in Football Manager, and I started using it in Iran in a 4-2-3-1, and it worked nicely with Zorin. Maybe it wasn't about Zorin. Maybe it's just about the role. I love wingers all of a sudden. Note the fact that I haven't said I love right wingers. That is something that without context could be problematic. I mean, we're coming up to half an hour played in this game. 2 goals in the first 10 minutes I thought was going to set the tone for maybe a game where we run away from things. Slowed down a little bit since, to be honest. You know, second goal was scrappy, a bit of a deflection. First goal, a moment of brilliance. We've not been, well, all over them in this game so far, but you know what? If you look at the stats, we are dominating the play in terms of shots. Even in possession, hasn't quite been as emphatic. Akdag's bringing it forward again here at right wing. He whips it back post. Al-Khani is there, and Al-Khani has scored. What an assist by Akdag, by the way. The cross here is sensational. Only 2 players in the middle to aim for. He picked out his man perfectly. And a very, very good header, it has to be said. I'm not sure what the goalie was doing. Some people have told me that I should use a foreign player spot on a goalie. Look, you can bring in a great goalie. He'll still have moments of stupidity in the match engine. I love our goalie. I really hope he now doesn't concede immediately, because that would be incredibly awkward, wouldn't it? I big up our goalie, say how much I love him, kind of go on about how Saudi goalies are the best. If ours now instantly makes a mistake, it's not going to be my finest moment. We're 3 goals to the good. I should be relaxing, but it does feel like the kind of game where we've not created a ton outside of the goals, and if they were to get one back, maybe you start to panic. Telescu for them, their key man, crosses it towards the back post. Mark misses his header. Mark, wake up, Mark! Mark! I'll be honest, I thought I could put him at right back and he wouldn't be a liability. I'm not sure what I thought. Has he lost it in the sun? Maybe he's lost in the sun. Maybe he's not used to playing in a desert. Someone get him some sunglasses. I say that like he's not spent the last 3 years in Iran, which presumably is also quite deserty and has a sun high in the sky. Right, Mark, you've got to do something better here. Mark, make something magical happen. I don't know if he's made that pass there or if he was tackled. We've kept the ball just about. Al-Harbi with it. Gives it back to Mark. My son, where are you going? He's going back. Mohammed, the Iraqi international, dinks it. Akhdag. That was for the hat-trick. 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half are going to come and go. Yeah, they did get a goal back. It was their only shot of the half. Don't think we need to panic too much. Pretty happy with how this is going. Given the fact they are, well, predicted to finish 5th this year, and we're away from home, we do look in control. Maybe should have mentioned it earlier. We are doing another game today, by the way. Maybe I should be thinking ahead to that game as well by making some subs. You know what? Al-Bashir, in you come at advanced playmaker, a player who's recently signed a new deal at the club. I think he's going to be a really useful squad player in kind of the number 10 position. Al-Harbi here is actually a man who I have been thinking about training to play on the left-hand side, just because I do have a bit of a lack of left attacking mids. You know what? I'm going to start training him to play that. I'm also going to just play him on the left side immediately. He'll figure it out as he goes. Al-Sabai, I am going to keep on the pitch. I'm going to play him in the position that ideally I would normally play him in. You know what? Al-Harbi, you can come in for Mark, because I don't trust my own son. I mean, in terms of average positions, you can see we have been really, really high up the pitch in this game. Also, I've just noticed the pitch is very long here. Is this going to be one of those leagues where, like, pitch sizes are all weird and wonderful? If you've never experienced it, it's a thing of beauty when you get the weird pitches in Football Manager. Who knows what we're going to find when we play across the 2nd division of Saudi Arabia. Al-Sabai, by the way, not yet come off the pitch. Or rather, he's not coming off. He's not yet dropped into centre mid. He's won the ball for us there. Al-Harbi, subs haven't happened yet. Could we add another? We have. Al-Harbi scores. And, well, I'm not going to complain about that. Al-Harbi picks it up in the middle. Isn't he meant to be on the left wing? Did I? He's meant to be on the left wing. He can't play centre mid. He's just scored from centre mid. I'll swap them now. No one's noticed. It has just dawned on me. My centre back's called Al-Harbi. My right back's called Al-Harbi. And my left winger's called Al-Harbi. I'm going to need nicknames, aren't I? We're 4-1 up in this game. We've been dominant. We've actually not had a crazy amount of possession, but we just created so much more. Akdag's early goal set us on our way, and unsurprisingly, he picked up man of the match. I didn't realise that was his first ever senior game of football playing men's football. Not a bad debut. 2 goals, 1 assist, 9.7 rating feels almost harsh. Right, our next game is against Al-Qaisumah. I hope I've said that correctly. Their media prediction is 15th, so they're not predicted to be quite as good. You can see here, Al-Shamari is their key man. Based on this being their key player, we really should be beating them comfortably. Let's go make that a reality. Okay, game number 2 today against Al-Qaisumah. Hopefully a straightforward one. Obviously, they're predicted to be down right at the bottom of the table. I do think there's probably a quite big gap in this division between the top and bottom. Naturally now, cue us to lose this game. Now, a little bit of team news today. Hassawi has got injured, which is a bit of a problem because I was already a little bit light in the centre of the midfield. So to solve it, we are going to have to shuffle the team a little bit. Mohamedou's our defensive mid. He's going to move into the box-to-box midfielder position. Al-Harbi, the centre-back Al-Harbi, who we signed for 2.5 million, he's going to move up and actually play his natural position at defensive mid. And it's going to be a debut at the club for Darwish, one of the first signings I made, another £2.5 million man. I feel like for that kind of money, he needs to be capable of stepping up in a game like this one. So it's exciting, isn't it, when you load up a new save in Football Manager or go to a new team in Football Manager and it's your first game at home, our first chance to see our new stadium, which I'll be honest, it looks very green and city-like from the outside. I mean, look at the HD trees. There's, you know what, let's focus on the action on the pitch. Al-Khani got an early goal last game well, trying to play the ball forward there. It's not quite worked out, but Bisalimi has picked it up. Now it's Mark, our beautiful son, playing it wide to Akhdag. The man of the moment last game. He skips past one man. He's got 2 players on him. He still manages to get a ball in. It's not cleared away. Al-Harbi, Al-Subai scores. Oh my word, 1-0, 11 minutes in. The makeshift left winger coming up trumps. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm looking forward to having our first choice left midfielder back in the team. But Al-Sabai, with a nice finish there, he's not looked out of place stuck out on the wing. He's the kind of player who, when you look at his polygon, you don't exactly go, winger. but he's making it work. Goal kick for them, a goal to the good early on. This is really easing the nerves. It'd be great to start off the season with 2 wins in a row. Al-Sabai, I've just spent time bigging him up. Imagine if he does it again. He cuts in, so he's done it again. He's done it again. What if it actually just turns out that his best position is just to play out on the left-hand side and Jawali, the man who I signed, it just doesn't get to play there anymore. That would be awkward. I mean, that is one hell of a finish, isn't it? Also, has anyone noticed our pitch is very square? In fact, our pitch is massive. Wait, we've just had a red card. Ibrahim Mohammed, you absolute cockwomble. He's 18 years old. He's lost his head. Okay, what do I do here? I guess Al-Sabai could drop in there. Then if I play Abbasi on the left and Akdag on the right... It's technically a 4-4-1. Technically. I mean, Al-Sabai, who I was playing on the wing, can kind of play defensive mid. That's probably a better spot to put him here, to just try and almost just see out this game a little bit. Well, to play him as a deep line playmaker, Akdag, I'm going to move deeper. Obviously, Abbasi cannot play left midfield, and I've promised him he's playing at centre attacking mid as an advanced playmaker. But actually, when you look at the kind of team... I think this might still just work. I'm going to put him on mark-specific player and then ask him to mark their right back and tighter Abbasi, just so hopefully when we don't have the ball, he offers that defensive option. I don't really want to shut up shop here, though. We're 2 goals to the good. They're playing a 4-4-2. I feel like that's not the kind of formation that punishes you when you go down a man quite as much as perhaps some more slightly attacking systems. I will say, I actually missed the red card here. It came straight after our second goal. What happened? Like, how did this red card come about? Where's Mohammed? Okay, it's just a moment of moronicness, isn't it? That is that's the only way you can describe it. I can't even get my words out. I'm so annoyed. Well, you know what? It's going to be a long hour here, but at least we have a 2-goal lead at the point in which we've gone down a man. Like I said, they're playing this 4-4-2. I don't really hate playing against a 4-4-2, especially with how we're lined up. Especially if we get a 3rd goal. Oh my word, we should have had it. Al-Khani. I'm paying him so much money, he's missed the target completely there. Abbasi, Al-Khani. We're on the attack again, I think. We're down a man, but our players haven't got the memo. Al-Khani's going on a wander. Where is he going? Okay, well, he has missed it at the end. Well, 5 minutes left of this first half. To be honest, you wouldn't have known that we've gone down a man. We've continued to press home an advantage, continued to play on the front foot, and actually... it's working quite nicely. We're on the attack here. Abbasi's in the middle. It's headed away. Al-Khamis, the left wing-back, though, is going to look to keep this alive and work some magic. He gives it to Al-Harbi. Back to Al-Khamis. Get the ball into the middle, my friend. Or do that. That's nice. That's pretty. Abbasi lays it across. That is an incredible pass. It's 3-0. It does not matter that we are down a man. Abbasi was our main creative midfielder when we were managing Istiklal. We've brought him over here to Saudi Arabia, and passes like that are exactly what I've brought him in to do. Half-time, down a man, 3 goals up. I'm just going to tell the players I'm happy. They have got a set piece here right at the start of the half. There is still 45 minutes left to be played, so maybe I shouldn't get too complacent. Hakami, by the way, our goalie, is absolutely massive. He plucked that ball out the air. Now he's looking to launch it forward towards Al-Khani. Abbasi's going to mop up the pieces. You can see here, we are not overcommitting men forward. It's definitely a case of just pump it up to Al-Khani, our star striker, and hope that he can make something happen. We've done it again. Can he get a good first touch? He doesn't need a first touch. He hits it first time and scores that. I mean, Bislimi's pass here to Al-Harbi was nice. Al-Harbi's pass, I mean, what is that? And then I was expecting him to take a touch. Nope, just strikes it immediately. Keeper had no chance. I mean, Al-Khani, I'm paying him a lot of money, that £12,000 a week. It might be worth it if he scores a goal a game for the rest of the season. Goal kick for Hakami. Just lump it forward to Al-Khani. Let's just let him do the magic every time. Oh, he's actually on the end of it. Imagine if he scores another. There's so many players in front of him, it only just goes wide. I think the match momentum sums up this game. The sending off has not changed a thing. Akdag, whip it in across. I was thinking about making some subs. I will definitely make some subs now. It's 5-0. Abbasi gets his first goal. I'm going to bring in Deji for his debut. Of course, missed the start of the season through injury. I think he will mostly be a sub option for us. I'm going to give Akdag a rest on the right-hand side. I'm going to sub on the left-back, Al-Harbi at left-back. Abbasi might have just scored. I'm going to protect him now. Let's make 4 changes. It does upset me a little bit to my core, the fact that this formation that I've decided to try and run against a 4-4-2 has worked as well as it has. Like, I feel a little bit dirty about it as well. I got a bit distracted before the red card. Is it just me, or is our pitch very square? I feel like if I go to 2D, it might give me a better idea on the shape of the pitch. We play on a square pitch. I don't know if I love it or hate it. Our pitch is a square. We do not care. That's our new chant as a team. It's really going to catch on. I would quite like to keep the clean sheet here. Al-Tassari for them with a man in the middle to aim for. Hits the outside the post. Oh, he was offside anyway. Wouldn't have counted. 2 minutes of added time at the end of this game are going to come and go. That is a pretty bloody good win, if I might say so myself. Really good to see us adapt to going down a man and still manage to win. And also still create a ton. A lot of the new signings hitting the ground running, it has to be said. And maybe that media prediction of first, well, maybe we're favourites to win the league for a reason. In fact, when you look at the odds for us to win the league and get promoted, they are very, very high. I suddenly feel like there's pressure on us. And I do suddenly wonder, should I be trying to win the King's Cup as well? Definitely getting carried away there. It's the first 2 games of the season, Jack. What are you saying? If we do end up running away with the league, much like we've done with this save game, we'll just do fewer episodes for the season. It is a 34-game season, though, which by English standards isn't that long. In the context of this save game, that is one of the longest seasons we've had, which is kind of weird to say. Anyway, you know what? I am getting far, far too carried away. Come back tomorrow, same time and place. We'll see what the vibe is here in Saudi Arabia, and I hope you enjoyed the episode today. If you did, go down below, leave a like. I'll see you tomorrow for your daily dose of journeyman action. It's me, Jack. Take things easy. I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.